A little busy?
Uh, no, it's not just that. It was that power outage. I had no power since Thursday, basically, and
That really sucks. Is it hot or cold over there in Puerto
oh,
Rico at this?
it's getting hot, and it's not even
Okay.
summer, and it's already getting hot.
Oh,
And well, there was an explosion basically. So and
yeah.
basically, these power plants are very ancient. Like they don't update or
Yeah,
improve stuff.
infrastructure. Yeah.
So you end up with the same system.
Mm.
And basically, yeah, usually what normally private companies would, take up around like 2 hours to fix, it took them, they estimated 12 hours,
Days.
but it
Yeah.
was in days. Yeah, it's
Is this wow, look at
there's
this
always
map.
there's always these jokes.
Before Maria, 8
Yeah,
days later. Who's Maria? Is
uh
that the
the hurricane.
oh, the hurricane.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. I was like, okay. Wow, look
and that's San Juan. That's like the capital, Puerto Rico. That's like the only
yeah.
area where they have light, which usually is the high priority ones, and then the rest
Yeah.
are just waiting.
Oh man, that's really eerie just to look, the
Yeah,
entire the entire place is just completely out.
I had to
That's
empty my refrigerator basically.
well, you have to. I mean, the food will spoil. The food will
Yeah,
spoil. Oh
yeah,
man, I'm sorry, Ricardo. This must be really tough.
yeah. And then I had to like look for office spaces just to work and get some internet. So I had to
Yeah,
go to San Juan, which is the capital, in order for me to work. So
yeah.
yeah,
Interesting.
that's I
I
think that was San Juan.
yeah, man, that's crazy. I remember, so I don't know, like let me ask you this. Do people get like power generators, in your
Since
side of the yeah,
Maria, they people have been buying that like hotcakes.
like crazy. Yep, yep.
Yeah, because they don't trust the government. They don't trust the private company right now, because usually in the states you have like different varieties of companies working on your electrical bill and power system infrastructure. Here we only had one that was from the government, and then they
Mm,
changed it to a private one. But
yeah,
they never improved the infrastructure. They only changed the administration because of government
yeah,
politics,
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that. So
Yeah, interesting.
yeah,
Okay, okay, let's jump to this. Hopefully the power is back now. You're good,
yeah.
or how
Well, it
how
doesn't go
how?
away. Just if I disconnect, you probably know why.
No worries, no worries. Where's the cookies? Cookies though. I don't hear them. I'm serious.
Awesome. I've been playing around here with the
What did you
audio.
do?
You want to hear something funny?
Uh,
You want to hear something funny? I told you I was coming late, and I was like, "What is going on with my headset?" And then I forgot to check one of the most basic things. It's not
what?
just
Turning
simply
on the computer.
no. Well, actually, I did that. It didn't work, but it was something more simpler than that. And I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so dumb." You want to know what
What
it was?
what was it?
The volume was down. That's it. I was like, you know what? It's not my day. Not my day. Just keep going.
Anyways, all right. So here's what we can do today. Um, the so the build project is done. The initializing the project. Thank you both for doing that. You and Elbic, you did great. He's a little bit. I'm assuming that he's a little asleep at this point in time. It's
Yeah.
7 a.m. and he's fasting and all that, so it's probably going to be a little bit harder for him to kind of
Okay.
catch up to these sessions. But we're gonna adjust. We're gonna adjust real quick. The same thing. The same thing with the Vazar guys. Time is a little bit different for them, but we'll catch up to them super soon. Here's what I wanted to talk to you about today, though. We can, at this point in time, we can start just simply just writing some stuff. We can implement those feature by feature, right? Like we can
Mm,
go here and we want to say the beginning. Like our first issue here is to go and say, here's your foundations.
Mm.
process expression start, right? And we want to basically, like I said to you, there's this idea that you're returning a specific model in your expression, and this particular model is basically dictating what other options are going to follow, right? So you're still using extension methods, but the only difference here is that, you're using that expression model. Let's just go ahead and try this out and see what happens. I'm gonna go into, this is one of these interesting situations where the model that you're working with is the exposure layer.
Mm.
We'll talk about that in a second, but let me start the project here real quick because even I am, yeah, let's see. So here is a Visual Studio. Come on. Okay. So
Well,
here is uh,
while that loads,
uh
interesting topic that I think it was either you or Paul that was talking about that C sharp object notation kind of thing.
it's very likely to be Paul because he doesn't stop talking. He talks all the time. I love him to death though. He's like Paul is the fun of the party. He'll be like, I am sick and tired of all of this nonsense, and then all of this I'll be like, oh, that was my bad.
I'll be listening.
Yeah. Oh, he definitely listens. Paul Wardy. I'm actually really, one of the greatest things that happened, outside, like as an outcome of OData Neo, is that I get to meet Paul Wardy. He's actually a very smart guy. This guy has been around for a long time, and we were just talking about this the other day. The one thing I noticed about him that you would rarely see in other software engineers is that he's willing to learn. He's not sitting around saying, "Hey, I've been around for all this time, and how can you tell me this or that?" Nope, that's not Paul. He'll be like, "Okay, I'm trying it this way, and it's not working," and very dedicated. Every single time we have a meeting, he shows up. He's one of the very, very rare, team members that never miss a beat, not even once. Even when he said, "Hey guys, I'm not gonna be available today," he showed up. So
Yeah,
that,
COVID, right?
yeah. So tell me about the annotation part that you were talking about. Go ahead.
No,
Mhm.
I just found it interesting, like for an idea as another type of data representation,
Mhm.
for the C sharp language. This is crazy thought that you guys had just had. I'm like, wow, this sounds interesting.
We'll be kind of like out of a discussion between a bunch of software engineers. This is what I always tell people. In a discussion between a bunch of software engineers, an easy total of $100 million could be, circulating around in terms of ideas, and they don't know about it. They're just sitting there and talking about it, but they don't know about it. They don't know that this is what they're trying to accomplish, and which I really appreciate about software engineers. They're giving me free ideas, right? That's how you do
Mhm.
it.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, let me see where the project is. Easy regex. Here it is. Select folder. So you and Elbic already did the yeah, why are these things in here? Seriously, guys. There it is. And there it is. Okay, we need to dig a little bit deeper. Folder, easy regex. What is going on? Let me try to pull latest from here. Get pull origin main. I think we're on main because it's a new project. Oh yeah, there it is. And now I don't know if Elbic actually fixed. Yeah, he did. Yeah. It's either you or him. One of you, fixed the little do you remember how we created the project two folders down and
Yeah,
we need to keep it.
I think that was Elbig. Yeah.
That was Elbic? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Isn't he good? I like
Yeah.
Elbic. Elbic is all right. I'm so happy that I can come up with projects and ideas that are appealing enough that people from all over the world wanna. Even Stanislav. Do you remember Stanislav? After he had a baby, he kind of completely out. He sent me a message. He said, "Don't take off without me. Just wait for me, guys." I was like, "All right, no problem." That's pretty good. I love the fact that people are actually finding this something interesting. Okay, here's the deal, man. So this expression here, this guy here is. is gonna be our a actual interface. Like we can actually have a service sitting here behind the scene that does one thing and one thing only. So this is your services. We can go under. This is just an idea generation kind of thing. So foundations, and then I can go here and say expressions, right? And this here can be an expression service. So here's your interface, I expression service. And you have also in here, see how my brain is processing this into broker services and exposers,
Yeah.
right? And the exposer is this client that you're working with through the interface. Now, where you getting the core functionality from, that can be lifted to a service sitting behind the scene. This is how I architect this in my head. So now if I go here, I can go and say, well, this expression, I can go here and say expression service like this, and I can go and say something to the effect of interface, great. Control KE, let's go here, control period, add the copyrights, and the same thing happens in here. Here's your public, partial, here is your I expression service. Oh, not this. And then what do we wanna do, Ricardo Cruz? We wanna go and say, Ricardo, how did we meet each other? I don't remember that part. Did we talk on, oh, YouTube, right?
Yeah, that
YouTube?
was some of your videos. Yeah, just commenting. It's like I took the leap of faith and I was like, I wanna help out. How can I do it? That was it.
You- YouTube is one of the most amazing social projects I've ever done. Forget about the content. Ooh, what did you think about the cul-de-sac at scale? Very cool, huh?
That
It's
was a very
magic.
interesting way of like of looking at a different angle, which I kind of figure because I have been practicing these. At least I got to a level to the orchestration, and I noticed like it does get extensive at one point. But seeing like you can just stay at the orchestration level, and then you can mediate through that vertically, that's kind of game changing right there. Um, I
Wait,
I don't want
wait
to. I
till I
want
incorporate the lake house. It's gonna make some people's minds just go crazy.
I want to be the party pooper here though, but I do really want to see like that kind of transaction rollback kind of thing because I've been having those kind of situation in work and I'm like, how would I integrate a kind of fail safe in case of
Oh,
like
you
one
bet.
service that fails and then the other runs in because maybe one service depends on the other or something like that. I don't know. I'm like
I'll
seeing
I'll
kind of
focus on the rollback. I'll do.
yeah,
No problem.
yeah.
You got it. Um, so here's the deal, man. If we do this as an expression service, we can't have this model be the one that's appending to an existing kind of value, right? So our expression service here somehow, like if I go here and say generate start expression like this, right?
Mm.
And this guy maybe, this guy returns a string, right? We need to be able to go and say, I'm just trying to kind of do a rough draft with you, and then we can test drive this real quick. But imagine that you have a private read-only string expression in here, and we are basically CTOR for this one. So we're just initiating it. We're just basically saying, here's my expression. Let's see, private string expression, something like that, right? And then once you start this guy would go here and say, I want to be the expression, it'll be itself plus here. It'll be the expression. Well, because this is the start of the expression, there's no appending here. We'll just go and say, this dot expression equals, right? And this expression equals what was the start of a regular expression, Ricardo? Do you remember? Was it the dollar sign or was it the upper caret?
I think it was the carrot. Let's
Double check
I
for
mean
me.
just yeah.
It's a good thing that we're automating this and we're just doing it right, so we never have to remember that question ever again.
Yeah, it's it's the carrot.
It's a caret? So
Yeah, I
something
always
like,
seem to forget. I always seem to forget about these, but it's always it's the carrot and the dollar sign's the ending. Yeah.
right. So if this expression is true, Ricardo, then by the way, we could have a broker sitting in the background that's validating the expression. So we're using the native regular expression as a broker. It's an external third party kind of or first party kind of provider, and we're running the validation through it as part of the library.
Mm.
So now the system is starting to kind of mature in my head. But in here, what I want to say is, okay, this is your expression. You're gonna start adding more and more to this. So this here becomes the exposure layer or the client or whatever the people are working with. And what this guy would be doing is that it's gonna go and say, well, I can implement here um, on start something like this, and it will go and call your service. So this guy will be a CTOR in here. You're going and saying private, read only, I, expression, service, like this.
Mm.
So this is your expression service. See how the models are kind of going over? Because at some point in time, we might be able, like this could be a native implementation, but we could also have out of the box, go ahead and inject whatever expression service you want down the road, rewritable software, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, I can go down here and say, this dot expression service equal new expression service. So that's my new expression service, like this. Hey, I wonder if these guys can give us a free equal new expression server. I don't think it will. I'm dreaming here, huh? I'm limited by the technology of my time. Yep, there. It won't give me the out of the box kind
For
of optional.
instance, I don't think. I mean, hmm, be interesting way of like initializing the object for the dependency injection at the start of the constructor there.
Right.
Hmm.
This guy here, this guy here, however, needs to be in some sort of way a static class that basically, something needs to be a static class. It could be the service itself. I don't know. And this service will kind of continue to give you the next appending option. So this client will not
Yeah.
actually be the extension class. It will be this service itself, right? That could be possible. Right, so I can go here and say, wait a second, actually, I want you to go and say, well, I want to offer capabilities that say keep the existing string and then call the, hold on, let's see if I can do that. So this here, this is an expression.
Are we still going through the same proof of concept that we did at first? Like basically keep moving with the chaining of the
Yeah,
methods for the
yeah,
service. Okay. Okay.
yeah, except that this guy is gonna be this dot string, right, text. That's your original text.
Okay.
Right? And we basically want to go here and say, oh, this is actually a static class. But the thing that's going to complain is that this guy is going to say, if I'm a static class, then I have no constructor anymore,
Yeah.
right? Which is not a big deal. We can just go and say on start, here it's private, read only. I mean, that's a private class member. You could go and say, well, let's see, I expression service. Would it be happy if I stop there? It
Yeah.
won't.
We
Be-
only use it for constructors. If I'm not mistaken. You initialize them on the constructors.
Yeah, and if I take this one out, this is what I love about libraries. They'll make you think 100,000 times. But if you do this, yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Equals new expression service.
Yeah. In that case, that would work. Yeah.
And then you can go down here and say, whatever comes out of this, I want to go and say, return this exact same text, plus the expression service dot get start. Something like that, Ricardo.
Generate. Okay.
Now this guy, I think public static.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They need to be static. All of methods.
this is it. Something like this. This is just the structure. Don't worry about the naming convention.
Yeah. No.
This is
Yeah.
just the structure. So this way we have a service, and this service is completely separate from how this is being exposed to the outside world. We don't care about that. Like your service doesn't know anything other than focusing on the one single thing that it's working on, and that's it. How it's being handled, outside, that's a different story. What I really want to do also is that I want to make the appending part also a part of the test, right? Like, the part where you're appending the work. I want this to be somewhat part of the test. So we might test both. This might be just a client that we need to test against, but we also have a service sitting behind the scene, and this service doing individual tasks completely separate from the next and the next. It will allow us to kind of focus our test on one thing and one thing only and see how that works, on its own. What do you think about that structure? Does that work? What do you think?
At least for now, that this is a very good, solid start. Um, for the appending part though, I was thinking like could we like unit test string builders in this case if we're gonna be using it later on?
So we won't be testing the string builder itself. We will just be testing that we did the appending process.
Okay, just the appending and that's it. Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
And we need a really tricky, nice way of going and saying, here's how I want to test this. I want to actually randomize. This is going to be a very interesting test case because I want to randomize the options that get generated and
Mm-hmm.
then see if it actually appends for all. We can do that. Like you're randomizing the calls to the client. See what I'm saying? So so anyway, let's just start this way. I don't want to like I don't know why I put the equal sign in here. I hate this to death. Every time someone says, put the fat arrow here or the equal sign here, that just gives me a headache. But but here's the deal. Okay, let me make this an expression service like this. Okay. So here's the thing. We could test this, right? We could go here and say, throw new not implemented exception, and we actually want to focus on this one. Get start expression. Okay, so this is get start expression. Should you say get or generate? What do you think? Which option's better?
I think it's pretty straightforward. I
You wanna
mean,
do you don't
generate
wanna do it?
would be like just generate the starting character, while get is just you get the character or you get the starting expression. That's it. I
Okay,
mean,
let's okay, services and then foundations and then we have expressions and then we have a test expression service tests.cs. Okay, there's this guy, and then I can go here and say public partial. There's some guy that I really like a lot. I want him to come hang out with me on one of these podcasts, but the problem is that he's very uh he just doesn't feel comfortable being on public stuff. There's so many engineers like that, that they'll hang out and all that kind of stuff, but they're just not comfortable, doing that. And I respect that. I don't have a problem with that. I wish he would change his mind at some point in time. Anyway, so here's your thing. This expression service and this expression service here, we want to basically go and say, I'm trying to turn on some lights, but at my Elgato, uh, light is not working, I guess, for some reason. Anyway, okay, so here's public, here, private, read only, expression service. Here's our guy, expression service, as your expression service. We don't have any brokers yet, Ricardo, so I think that's okay. So here's our expression service, and all we really gotta do is just go and say, I want to generate for this particular expression. So I'm gonna go here and say logic. This is gonna be one of the biggest. So it's dot logic, like this, and then I'm gonna go here and say, okay, here's my test. Let's just write one test. That would be perfect for me for today. Here's test, and then public void should get expression start given Let's see, given, when, then, string, expected, expression, start, and that's your up caret. Oop, like that. And then we want to go here and say string actual expression start. The easiest test I've ever written in a very, very long time.
Kind
I'm
of
literally,
refresh
yeah.
about it, right?
Yeah, it's gonna get a lot more complicated. It's like playing a video game and
Right.
you're kind of evolving with the video game as it goes. Um, and then actual expression start should. Did anyone get the Fluent library? Nope. Okay. Okay, guys. Okay, okay. Okay, here's this guy, and then let's go here and say this is your uh
Fluid
what am I?
assertion.
Yeah, Fluent to search. Thank you. End of day, trying to kind of get to the get to the end of the line. Let's do this in 10 minutes, okay? I have 10 minutes. So, okay, let's see. Should be equivalent to, and that would be the expected expression start, right? So that should do the trick. Now, if I go and do Control KE, run my tests, here we go. Okay, so now I have a failing test.
Yep.
Here's a branch, new branch, no branch, no branch. Users, Hassan, Habib, foundations, dash, expression, start. And here is, yeah, continue checkout. What's in here? Expression server, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, great. There. Fail. Go for it, Ricardo. You're it. You have the code? Do you have Visual Studio?
Yep. Okay.
Okay. You're it.
Let's see. Get the latest. Let's look for the branch. Share screen.
Uh-huh. I see a screen.
Yeah.
I
Let's
see
look
a
for the branch.
screen of green. Red roses too. Here we go. All
All right.
right. Now this song is gonna be stuck in your head for days with the electricity out. All right.
Okay.
What
So
happened?
still waiting for the project to load, I guess. As in,
That's
see.
weird. Oh, you're in the wrong branch.
Oh, am I? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry about that.
Noob. That's good. So go to remotes and find it. It should be,
Yeah,
there it is, expression
one.
start.
Yeah. All right.
I wouldn't
Now,
miss with, just for the people watching us, I wouldn't miss with Ricardo like this in real life. This guy's 6'2". I wouldn't miss with that guy like that. If we're together in the same office, I'd be like, "Can I get you some coffee, sir?" But now I'm a keyboard warrior, so you can't do nothing to me. All right, you guys, you're just gonna have to navigate and open it because
yeah.
there was nothing in the original project. It didn't see.
So let's see what's going on.
Yeah, there it is. Just get that solution.
Yeah.
Done.
Don't know what happened there, but all right.
Here we go. It just doesn't know when you're switching from no project to project. It doesn't keep a reference because the solution is the root of all of it, right?
Mm,
Anyway, let's run some tests and let's see what happens. I want to let you know I'm happy we're working together again.
it's
Just
been a
want to let
while.
you know that. Yeah, it's been quite a bit.
I've been meaning to join in the Odata Neo, but those high stake players over there, and it's like I
Every
can't.
time someone joins in, they just run away. Zach came in and then walked away. I
Oh,
think I think Breno he
Breno,
he
right?
just yeah I think he He just joined once. I said there's just too much talking. I don't see any coding in here. These guys, and then who else joined and disappeared? Someone also joined and disappeared. I don't remember. Anyway, yeah, we just there's just a lot of people and they have very strong opinions, but please feel free to join at any point in time. My job is to make sure actually that everyone's, voice is heard and included. So we will wait for people to say all their thoughts and they'll be like, that really sucks. We'll give them a whole session and then we'll go and say, that really sucks. We're not going to do that. All right, here
Oh
we
wow,
go.
it's actually faster this time.
Yeah, it used to take longer than that before. Here we
All
go.
right.
Here we go. Here we go, Galaxy. Here we go. Let's do it.
If only you could respond faster. There you go. All right.
Oh my
So,
Lord. Okay, there it is. Okay.
so but
This is gonna
I'm
this is gonna be the easiest task you've ever done ever in the world.
you think so?
I think so. Ah, you have a fat arrow. You don't need that. Let's move it up by one and remove that
All right.
return statement.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So it was hard, you see? It was? Wow. All right. Yeah, you're definitely right about that. All right. Let's see.
All right, let's do it.
See, if I were to do that in the Data Neo session, I would be obliterated.
Oh, they will slaughter you. They will laugh at you for half an hour straight. You say, put all the work on the side. Let's laugh at this clown.
All right. Let's take a look for the test name. Should.
Hmm.
Right.
So commit that, and then you owe me a failing test by the
Mhm.
next session because I really need to go eat. But by the next session, you owe me a failing test where, and that would end this one task, by the way. We just need a failing test that basically handles a service exception. Something happened while you're trying to process that string, you're running out of memory, whatever the case may be, because there's no validation exceptions here. There's no brokers, therefore there's no dependencies. It will be interesting to see how can we figure out, this is not an easy task, by the way, just to let you know, because you can't attach an exception to anything. You don't have any dependencies. So what are you going to do? You understand?
But didn't you guys like when you guys were doing the what was it called, the ADO.net,
A
like
.NET?
were
Yeah.
you guys like looking for dependencies for the file input or something like that? For
Yeah.
wouldn't be the same for strings or
I don't know. If you figure out how to figure, there's a library that Tiller excels, but it's not for free. Something called Easy Mock.
oh
And
wait, yeah, now okay, yeah, I remember in the data and then Neo session you did mention for a native data type. Oh, okay, yeah, there's no way
do you
to
remember when I was telling people I want to rewrite the .NET
yeah
framework? And if it's
yeah
not an
yeah
option, if it's not an
oh
option, we can
shoot.
conclude it with other things. Yeah. So just give it a shot. The whole point here, you see what you and I are doing right now, we're pushing the envelope further and further and further. That's how we get smarter.
Mm,
Someone out there sitting doing an 8-hour job, they're doing exactly what they did yesterday and the day before and the day before. They're not pushing any envelopes, right? They're just moving data around. We sit down, this is the street. This here is the street. We're
I get
sitting here saying, how can we generate exceptions? And this, by the way, this problem has been in my mind for a very long time, and I'll tell you why. I really hate the fact that I have to fake an exception coming out of its non legitimate dependency. When we throw a SQL exception from a datetime broker,
yeah, I've seen what
I'm not a big
workaround.
fan, but I'm not a
Yeah.
big fan, but it doesn't matter because we're just trying to see how the service would react to that. But it would be really cool if I can just put some notation, figure out some way that would allow me to inject an exception in there. That would be the stuff. You know what I mean? How are we gonna do that? I have an idea in my head. I just, I want to see what everyone thinks first. Give it a shot. So you
Yeah.
see, you think it's the simplest task in the world, but it's not.
It never is. It never. I mean, it always starts as nice, but then it just gets convoluted. I mean, that's how I started in my new job with my first project
Yeah,
at the new job, and yeah, it started as simple, and then just well, this is why I kind of need to see how you do the transaction and the rollback features, because I kind of want to see from your point of view how you tackle
I
that kind of
will.
scenario. Yeah.
So I already have an idea. So rollback, I have an idea. I have trace idea. I also have this local queue idea. Oh my God, if I showed you my to-do, you would freak out. If it didn't have internal, non-public stuff in it, I would have shared like internal for my work. I would have, they're all in one big, because I'm working, even when you and I are sitting down right here and we're working on a fun project, eventually I know that's going to end up being something I use at work,
Mm,
right? So I have an idea. Let's just see. This year is going to be very interesting,
can't wait.
and I need to shift a little bit of focus on Git file. I mean, we're working on Git file, but I need to kind of add a few things on the front so people kind of, stay working with this. I need to kind of start circulating the idea of paid tasks and stuff like that. Anyway, think about this. Just give it a thought. See how we can generate a service exception from a string. How is that possible? That's magic, my friend. That's the kind of stuff that when you figure out and you show it to people, be like, oh my God, who is this guy? Right? Anyway, give it a shot. I don't have an answer for this one, actually. I really don't. So give it a shot, see what happens, and we'll connect. We'll connect Thursday.
Yeah,
Thursday.
sure thing.
All right. I'll talk to you later. Thank you so much. Take care.
Bye bye.